تفضل read.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا يعد من الصلاة قبل ذكر وقتها ويعاد في الوقت لأن العباد الإسلام قبل الوقت تسجيلا. قال ابن رحمه الله وهو قول الشافعي رحمه الله يجوز الفجر في النصف الأخير في الليل لتوارث الليل.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So we are still discussing the adab, the etiquette, and the laws surrounding adhan. ولا يؤذن للصلاة قبل دخول وقتها. Adhan will not be called out. In other words, like we said, adhan is sunnat. You want to get the reward of adhan, etc., etc. You must call out the adhan in its proper time, right? Once the time is entered. Well, proper time means once the time is entered. Simple example is like say Zohar time comes in 1 o'clock. So you say you want to save time now, right? You're going to go somewhere. So I'm going to call out the adhan 5 to 1. You won't get the reward of calling out the adhan. You won't get the reward. Obviously, your salah will be valid because remember, adhan is not a shart for salah to be valid. Adhan is not a shart, it's not condition for the salah to be valid. But what he's saying is when we're saying that your adhan won't be valid, you won't get the reward of practicing upon this great sunnah of Rasulullah. In fact, it will be makruh. So we're saying, wala yu'adhinu. So like many times you think to yourself, maybe we're in a hurry sometimes, we just call out the azan before the time, whatever. No, it has to be done in its proper time. So وَلَا يُؤَذَّنُ لِلصَّلَاةِ قَبْلَ دُخُولِ الْوَقْتِ. Adhan will not be called out for the salah قَبْلَ دُخُولِ وَقْتِهَا, before the entrance of its time. وَيُعَادُ فِي الْوَقْتِ. So if it happens as such, somebody call out the adhan before the time, you have to repeat it. You have to call it out in the proper time. Why? لِأَنَّ الْأَذَانَ لِلْإِعْلَامِ. Look here. Azan is to inform people that look here, your Zohar Salat has become wajib upon you, your Zohar Salat has become faraz upon you, your Asr Salat has become faraz upon you, right? Now you know Salat only becomes wajib when you enter the time. If you don't enter the time, you maaf for that Salah. If today's Zohar starts at 1 o'clock, you pass away 10 to 1, all right? You don't have to read Zohar. In fact, you don't have a qadha on you. Your heirs don't even have to pay that what you call that fidya, nothing, because you never enter that time. So say we're saying لأن الأذان للإعلام, the adhan is to inform the people. وقبل الوقت تجهيل. And if you're going to be giving adhan, you're calling somebody to something before it even become compulsory, right? Right, then this وقبل الوقت تجهيل, you are making them ignorant, you're making them stupid, right? So read the next ibarat.
وقال ابن رحمه الله ويقول الشافعي رحمه الله يجوز الفجر في النصف الأخير من الليل.
Right. So Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah ta'ala from the Hanafi madhab, وقال Abu Yusuf rahimahullah ta'ala, Imam Yusuf from the Hanafi madhab, وهو قول الشافعي, it's also the call of Imam Shafi. He said يجوز للفجر في النصف الأخير من الليل. It is permissible, right, in Fajr. In Fajr, you can call out the Zan before the time. يجوز في الفجر في النصف الأخير, in the last half of the night. So what he's saying is, if you take the night and you divide it into two portions, then the second portion of the night you can give, right? يجوز في الفجر في النصف الأخير من الليل. And what is proof? He says لتوارث أهل الحرمين, because of the continued practice of the people of the Haramain Sharifain. They would give the Fajr, that's what he's saying. They would give the Fajr Salah, give Azan for the Fajr Salah in the last part of the night, right? Right? So we say, وَالْحُجَّةُ عَلَى الْكُلِّ. We got our clear proof that debunks this is, وَالْحُجَّةُ عَلَى الْكُلِّ قَوْلُ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامُ, the statement of Nabi Sallam, لِي بِلَالٍ, when Nabi Sallam said, لَا تُؤَذِّنْ حَتَّى يَسْتَبِينَ لَكَ الْفَجْرُ. That, oh Bilal, do not call out the Fajr Azan until the dawn is clear to you. And we discussed this in the times of Salah, what we mean by dawn. Dawn means a breath-wise, what should the breath-wise light now? لا تؤذن حتى يستبين الفجر هكذا. And the reason is هكذا ومد بيدي أرضا, and he, look at me, he made like this until the, see, one is the Subah Kadhib, which comes like this, and the Subah Sadiq is like this. The Nabi said like this light that comes red wise. So this shows you that Nabi clearly instructed him, don't give azan. Don't give azan until that is 100% clear. Fajr comes, so that shows you cannot give azan until the Fajr time does not come in. Right? Read the next ibarat, inshallah.
قوله عليه السلام إن مدينة رضي الله عنهما إذا سافرتما فأتما وأقيما.
Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, وَالْمُسَافِرُ يُؤَذِّنُ وَيُقِيمُ. Yeah, let's look at the example of maybe you just traveling with a group of people. Just understand it's like this. You're traveling in the wilderness, right? You're traveling, you're going, then you say, وَالْمُسَافِرُ يُؤَذِّنُ وَيُقِيمُ. The musafir, he will call out the adhan, will call out the iqamah. Why? Right? What's the proof? The statement of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Mulaikata, because of Nabi Sallallahu statement to the two sons of Ibn Mulaika. إذا سافرتما, when you are traveling, فأذنا, call out the adhan, وأقيما, and call out the iqamah as well. Carry on. Yeah. So if you are traveling alone, right? I mean, you are traveling not alone. Sorry, you are traveling with somebody, with a group, you got a party, whatever. And for intarakahuma, you leave out both the adhan and you leave out the iqamah, both of them. Yukrah, that is makruh. It is a means of deprivation of reward. So sometimes husband, wife are traveling, even husband or wife traveling, stop by the Shell Ultra City, etc., wherever, then they should call out the adhan also. Obviously, the husband, not the wife, we discussed it there, still call out the adhan, right? And I told you it also comes in the kitab here. Why? Why call out the adhan? Why call out the iqamah? Because remember, the most complete form of salah is a salah with adhan and a iqamah. So even though you are not reading the salat in the most complete form in the masjid with adhan and iqamah, try to replicate it. Try to replicate it. Try to read the adhan and the iqamah in the most complete form. Try to read the adhan and the iqamah in the most complete form by calling out the adhan and giving the iqamah, etc. Right? So, فإن تركهما جميعا يكره, right? Carry on. So, ولو اكتفى بالإقامة جازا. But if you are traveling, and you only suffice, right? ولو اكتفى on the iqamah, right? That will also be a fine. There will be no reprehensibility. Carry on. Why? Yeah. Given the reason, why is it okay? Why is it okay that you suffice on the iqamah? Say, look here, look at لأن الأذان لاستحضار الغائبين. The adhan is to istihdar, to bring present al-ghaibin, to bring the absent people present. Like when you're in a masjid, you call out the adhan so that all the people that are not, they must come. But here, when you are traveling, you and your wife or your family, you are traveling, you're stopping by the Shell Ultra, etc., whatever, there aren't other people that you're really calling towards the salah, so it is not so necessary. So they're saying, وَالرَّفَقَةُ حَاضِرُونَ, the companions are present. This word here is similar, like, you get a jama on the fa'alatun scale, like I told you, fasiqun, fasaqatun, fajirun, fajaratun, qatilun, qatalatun, rafiqun, rafiqun, compare rafaqatun. Anybody knows any other words on the scale? The jama which comes on the fa'alatun scale? Qatala, fasaqa, fajara. What else? Anyway, so there are a few scales. So here a new one we learned. Rafiqun, rafaqatun. The companions, carry on. Yeah. So they're giving a reason why you can suffice without the adhan, but you need iqamah. You need iqamah. Well, iqamah to the iqamat li'a'lamil iftitahi. It is to inform that we are now starting the salah. وَهُمْ إِلَيْهِ مُحْتَاجٌ, and they need it. Why? Maybe everybody is sitting, they're making zikr, they're waiting for the imam. So to show that we're going to start the salah now, is there is need for him to call out the iqamat, right?
فإن صلى في بيته في مصر يصلي بأذان وإقامة.
Yeah, interesting. مسلا فإن صلى في بيته في المصري يصلي بأذان وإقامة. If he prays in his house, right, in the town, فإن صلى في بيته in the Misr, إن صلى في بيته في المصري يصلي بأذان وإقامة, he will pray with أذان and إقامة, right, ليكون الأداء على هيئة الجماعة, right, so that the discharging will be like, as close as possible to the full, which is Jama'ah. So what he's saying here is, understand this, Mr. If you are in a place and you're reading by your house, for whatever reason, you're not supposed to be reading by your house, but you're reading by your house with your wife or your children, whatever, and the azan is called out in the locality. So according to this ibarat here, you must still call out the azan. So for inshallah fi baiti fil misr, because fil misr means in the town. And obviously in the town you are going to hear the azan, right? Yusalli bi azanin wa iqamatin. You will pray with azan and iqamah. Why? لِيَكُونَ الْأَدَاءُ عَلَى هَيَئَةِ الْجَمَاعَةِ, so that means the charging على هيئة الجماعة will be in the full form of a jama'ah. Carry on.
فإن تركهما جاز لقول
So yeah, if he leaves it out, right, he doesn't give the azan, the iqamah. وَإِن تَرَكَهُمَا جَازَ. So I told you this refers to more to a place where you're in the locality where you can hear the azan. The azan has been called out, right? وَإِن تَرَكَهُمَا, it will be permissible. وَإِن تَرَكَهُمَا جَازَ. Why? لقول ابن مسعود, because of the statement of Ibn Mas'ud, أذان الحي يكفينا, that we don't have to give another azan, because the azan of the locality is sufficient. So if you like, so this, I think this is, if I remember correctly, the fatwa is on this one here. Yeah, I'm just seeing the shara, but as far as I remember, we can check this up. You people must learn, you must have an inquiring mind also. What must you do? If you show interest in checking things, I will bring up more kitabs to you. I got a lot of kitabs, but other kitabs I brought from the house here, but nobody really checks it. That's why I never bring even. I can bring more kitabs from the house. As far as my memory serves me, the fatwa is on this, that if you are in a place where the adhan has been called out already, especially if you can hear the adhan, especially if you can hear the adhan, then it's not necessary for you to call the adhan out. Although here in the kitab that ibarat suggests, just tell me in your kitab, what does it say? Whose ibarat is it? It's Quduri or Jami Saghir. Check there. Just فَإِن صَلَّى فِي بَيْتِهِ فِي الْمِصْرِ يُصَلِّي بِأَذَانٍ وِإِقَامَةٍ. You know the Hidaayah is the overline ibarat is made up of the ibarat of Quduri Sharif and is made up of the ibarat of Jami Saghir. Ne? See there if you can find out whose ibarat is it. Not my kitab. My kitab doesn't say here, which is. Can you find out there? I think that's in there. Nothing. Okay. But as I said, as far we can double check it again. But as far as my memory serves me, the fatwa is on this here that if you could hear the adhan, then it's not necessary to give adhan again. Can you suffice on the iqamah because the adhan has already been called out in the locality. So alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah Ta'ala, once again we come to the end of another chapter, and that is with the method of adhan, some of the adab and the etiquette of adhan. There are maybe other adab, there are etiquette that are discussed in what we term as the mutawwalat, the long kitabs. I mentioned to you before that you can't have all the masail in these kitabs that taught. It will take them ages. It will take you years to teach everything. But normally the ulama choose like concise books where you can get the main things. If you want to find the details, then you have to go to the mutawwalat. So these kitabs are just there to teach you how to go to the bigger kitabs and check. So we've covered most of the adab, the etiquette, the laws, etc. with regards to azan. Yes, I agree with you. There might be some things that hasn't been covered here. Finer aspects, finer adab, finer etiquette, etc., etc. So for that, you have to go to the what we term as the mutawwalat. Mutawwala, yutawwilu, mutawwilun, mutawwalatun, which is the ismul maf'ul. And obviously, to how to read these books, how to access books, that is what you get the takhassus fil fiqh to become a mufti. Or if you're sharp enough, you don't have to become a mufti. If you already, from now, you develop the attitude, when you have some questions in your mind, you go to the Khariji kitabs. What does Khariji kitab means? Khariji kitab means the kitab is not taught in a madrasa. If you develop that attitude now already, that, oh, there's a question here I got in my mind, let me go check it up. You ask the Ustad, which kitab can I check this? I want to check more of this up. Then you can build your own ability to check up extra. Otherwise, if you don't develop that, then to learn to check what books to check, then you will have to do that in the, either you call it takhassus fil fiqh, that is like a ifta course, right? So you can't do it on your own because the ulama have to teach you which other books that has the fatwas in, which other ghair muftabi, etc. Anyway, we've come to the end of that chapter there. Allah Ta'ala accept it. Allah Ta'ala put it is on our mizan. Allah Ta'ala show it to us. The learning, teaching, khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allama. What we are learning here is actually from the Quran, because the Quran is the primary source of knowledge. Allah Ta'ala make us from amongst them in the true sense, those people who are learning, teaching the Quran. May we see it on our mizan, and may Allah Ta'ala convey the reward also to all our beloved marhumin. Make it a sadaqatul jariyah for them. Okay, so the next chapter we're going to do Babu Shuruti Salati Lati Tataqaddamuha. Now, I mentioned this before to you that a condition that precedes the actual thing is called a shart. And the condition which is in the actual thing, that is called the what, Yusuf? It's called a, Yusuf? What? When it's a integral part in the actual ibadat, what do we call it? What do we call the rukan? So those conditions that precede an act of ibadat, they are called shurut. Like a simple example to understand is, like in order to reach salah, you need to be free from hadath. Your awrat need to be closed. There's a different awrat for the men. There's a different awrat for the women. You have to face the qibla. Your place must be clean. So these are all conditions that precede the salah. So they are termed as shurut. Then the condition that is in the actual ibadat, that is called a rukan. What is called a rukan? Like our in salat, you have to make sajda, you have to make ruku, etc., etc. Those are called arkan, right? So we still busy with some of the shurut. Babu shurut salat allati tataqaddamuha. Some of the conditions of salah, those that precede the salah. So inshallah, time is almost up, so we'll start one time tomorrow with that, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.